Ah, you hear that? That's some new theme music. Pretty cool stuff, eh? Anyhow, today we're going to look at Bad Dudes for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game came out in 1988 in arcades and 89 for the Nintendo. It's a Data East game, which was kind of on the fence about Data East. Their arcade games were pretty good, but I always felt that most of their home conversions ended up sucking. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Bad Dudes, it was your basic beat 'em up, along the lines of Double Dragon or Streets of Rage. And it's a 1 or 2 player game. 2-player gameplay is simultaneous. Oh, this is my favorite part. I mean, come on. Who talks like that? I wish every time I opened my mouth I made a noise like that. It's friggin' awesome. Now, the plotline is rather ridiculous. The president was kidnapped by ninjas, and are you a bad enough dude to rescue him? Well, we shall find out. So yeah, the premise of Bad Dudes is rather ridiculous. Even more so than most other beat-em-up games that I could think of. I mean, Double Dragon's premise is downright plausible compared to this. A gang kidnaps your girlfriend and you gotta go rescue her. That's a lot more plausible than the president being kidnapped by ninjas. I mean, where were the Secret Service, for Christ's sake? So if I actually single-handedly managed to save the president, I can tell you one thing. There's going to be a strongly worded letter going to my congressman telling me they better do something about presidential security, because that's ridiculous. Now let me talk a little bit about the player control in Bad Dudes. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty horrible. When you walk around, it's almost as if your feet are like suction cupped to the ground. So it feels very sluggish to walk around. And the animation isn't that smooth, so it's not, it doesn't help the situation. So you use the D-pad to very sluggishly move your character around the screen, and your A button is your attack button, which does either a punch or a kick depending on what your input on the D-pad is, and your B button is jump. And that's about it. Here we see the first boss, who appears to be a ripoff of the main character from Karnov, another Nintendo NES game. Actually, not only was it a Nintendo NES game, but Karnov was also a Data East game. So I guess that's a little Data East cross-game promotion there. Now this game did have some voice sampling, and if you listen closely you can hear it.
I'm bad.
That right there, my friends, was the icing on the cake in 1989 for me and my friends to make fun of this game when it was out. I mean, this game told you right there that it's terrible. And the voice sample quality was so poor that it just adds to the humor. And the irony. So back in 1989, everybody was trying to cash in on the latest craze in arcade games, and that was the side-scrolling beat-em-up. I mean, it was #1 in the arcades. And you did see a lot of other companies try to cash in and make a substantial game in the genre. And Bad Dudes was Data East's attempt at it. And although the arcade isn't that bad, the Nintendo NES port of the game is pretty terrible. The only thing that really stands out in the game is how mediocre it is overall. And there you have it. Bad Dudes by Data East for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm Dommy from Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.